The rise of AI art, artificial intelligence, creating art. The incredible rise of AI art is nothing short of amazing, and currently the output of these systems is primarily viewed as novelty when it appears on the cover of a magazine or when it's utilized to create memes, but this might not be the case for too long. AI-produced art is subtly starting to change culture. The ability of machine learning algorithms to produce imagery from text prompts has drastically improved the quality, accuracy, and expression over the previous 2 years. These technologies are now leaving research facilities and entering the hands of regular people, where they are fostering the development of new visual languages of expression and most likely new kinds of problems as well. Only a small number of top-tier image-generating AI are thought to exist at this time. They're difficult and expensive to make because they need access to the millions of photographs that are necessary to train the system, which duplicates patterns in the images it finds, and a lot of processing power, which may reach into the millions of dollars in cost. Currently, the output of these systems is primarily viewed as novelty when it appears on the cover of a magazine or when it's utilized to create memes, but right now designers and artists are incorporating the software into their work processes, and soon AI-generated and AI-augmented art will be commonplace. Copyright concerns: who owns the image, who created it, as well as concerning potential threats such as biased outputs or AI-generated false information will need to be addressed right away. But as the technology gains popularity, one business will be able to claim some of the credit. Midjourney, a 10-person research lab that creates an eponymous AI image generator that can be accessible via a Discord chat server. You have undoubtedly already seen the output of Midjourney's system in your social media feeds, despite the fact that the name may be unfamiliar. Simply sign up for Midjourney's Discord, input a prompt, and the system will create an image for you. And a lot of people ask us, they say, why don't you just make an iOS app that makes you a picture? Midjourney's founder, Davidholtz, told The Verge in an interview, but people want to make things better, and if you do that on iOS, you have to make your own social network, and that's pretty hard. So if you want your own social experience, Discord is really great, he said. You receive 25 credits, and you register for a free account, and all photographs produced in open chat rooms are yours to enjoy. The amount you must pay after that will depend on how many photographs you want to create and whether you want them to be private to you. It ranges from $10 to $30 every month. Midjourney is opening up accessibility to its platform this week, enabling anyone to set up their own Discord server with an AI picture generator. According to Holtz, quote, "We're going from a Midjourney universe to Midjourney multiverse," end quote. And he believes the outcomes will be astounding, an explosion of AI-enhanced creativity that is still only the beginning, he says. Holtz was called up for an interview to learn more about his goals for Midjourney, including why he's creating an engine for the imagination and why he believes AI is more like water than a tiger. Naturally, Midjourney was used to depict our conversation. And for clarity, the following interview has been lightly trimmed and condensed, they said. It's great to start with a bit about yourself and Midjourney. What's your background? How did you get this in the scene? And what is Midjourney, the company community? How do you describe it? He says, so my name is Davidholtz. I guess I'm a serial entrepreneur. My brief history would be I had a design business in high school. I went to college for physics and math. I was working on a PhD in fluid mechanics while working at NASA and Max Planck. I got overwhelmed at one point and put all those things aside. So I moved to San Francisco and started a technology company called Leap Motion around 2011. And we sold these hardware devices that would do motion capture on your hands, kind of inventing a lot of the gestural interface space. I founded Leap Motion and ran that for 12 years, but eventually I was looking for a different environment instead of a big venture-backed company, and I left that to start Midjourney. And right now it's pretty small. We're like 10 people, we have no investors, and we're not really financially motivated. We're not under pressure to sell something or be a public company. It's just about having a home for the next 10 years to work on cool projects that matter, hopefully not just to me, but to the world, and to have fun, he said. He says, we're working on a lot of different projects. It's going to be a wide and diverse research lab, but there are themes. Things like reflection, imagination, and coordination. And what we're starting to become well known for this is image creation stuff. And we don't think it's really about art or making deep fakes, but how do we expand the imaginative powers of the human species? And what does that mean? What does it mean when computers are better at visual imagination than 99% of humans? That doesn't mean we will stop imagining. Cars are faster than humans, but that doesn't mean we stopped walking. When we're moving huge amounts of stuff over huge distances, we need engines, whether that's airplanes or boats or cars. And we see this technology as an engine for the imagination, so it's a very positive and humanistic thing. Lots of labs and companies are working on similar technologies that turn text into imagery. Google has Imagen, OpenIA has DALL-E, and there are a handful of smaller projects like Crayon. Where did this tech come from? Where do you see it going in the future? And how does Midjourney's vision differ from others in this space? So there have been 2 breakthroughs in IA that led to image generation tools. This is understanding language, and the other is the ability to create images. And when you combine those 2, you can create images through the understanding of language. We saw those technologies coming up, and we saw the trends that these will be better at making images than people, and it'll be really fast. Within the next year or 2, you'll be able to make content in real time, 30 frames a second, high resolution. It'll be expensive, but it'll be possible. And then in 10 years, you'll be able to buy an Xbox with a giant AI processor, and all the games are dreams. From a raw technology standpoint, those are kind of facts, and there's no way to get around that. But from a human standpoint, what the hell does this mean? All the games are dreams, and everything is malleable, and we're going to have AR headsets. And what does that mean? So the humanistic element of that is kind of unfathomable. The software required to actually make that a thing that we can wield is completely off the map, and I think that's our focus, he said. We started off testing the raw technology in September last year, and we were immediately finding really different things. We found very quickly that most people don't know what they want. You say, here's a machine you can imagine anything with, what do you want? And they go, dog. And you go, really? And they go, pink dog? So you give them a picture of a dog and they go, okay. And then they go and do something else. So whereas if you put them in a group, they'll go dog, and someone else will go space dog, someone else will go Aztec space dog, then all of a sudden people understand the possibilities, and you're creating this augmented imagination, an environment where people can learn and play with this new capacity. So we found that people really like imagining together, so we made Midjourney social. And we have this giant Discord community, like it's one of the largest Discords with roughly 1 million people, where they are co-imagining things in these shared spaces. And question, do you see this human collective as parallel to the machine collective, as a sort of counterbalance to these AI systems? And he said, well, there isn't really a machine collective. Every time you ask the AI to make a picture, it doesn't really remember or know anything else it's ever made. It has no will, it has no goals, it has no intention, no storytelling ability, all the ego and will and stories, that's us. It's just like an engine. An engine has nowhere to go, but people have places to go. It's kind of like a hive mind of people superpowered with technology. Inside the community, you'll have 1 million people making images, and they're all riffing off each other, and by default, everybody can see everybody else's images. You have to pay extra to pull out the community, and usually, if you do that, it means you're some type of commercial user. So everyone's ripping off each other, and there are all these new aesthetics. It's almost like aesthetic accelerationism. And they're all bubbling up with swirling around, and they're not AI aesthetics. They're new, interesting human aesthetics that I think will spill out into the world, he said. Does this openness help keep things safe as well? because there's a lot of discussion about AI image generators being used to generate potentially harmful stuff, whether it's straightforwardly nasty imagery, gore and violence, or misinformation. How do you stop that from happening? Yeah, so it's amazing, he said, when you put someone's name on all the pictures they make, they're much more regimented in how they use it, and that helps a lot. That said, we still have some issues at times where, unfortunately, like the way that social media works everywhere else, you can make a living by causing outrage, and there's a motivation for some people to come into the community, pay for privacy, then spend a month trying to create the most outrageous, horrifying, shock imagery possible, and then try to publish it on Twitter. Then we have to put our foot on that and say, that's not what we're about. That's not the type of community we want. So whenever we see that, we stomp it out. We ban words if we have to. We've collected words for things like photorealistic, ultra gore, and we've banned every word within a mile of that. So how much does it cost to train yours? I would say training models in this space, I can speak about our specific costs. I can say general things. Training image models is probably around $50,000 every time you do it right now, and you never get it right in one try, so you have to use 3 tries, 20 tries, and you do need a lot, so it adds up. It's expensive. It's more than what most universities could spend, but it's not so expensive that you need $1 billion for a supercomputer, he said. I'll leave links below for you for this. This is on Great Game India. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.